here is one of the biggest mistakes I see tons of business owners and founders make when it comes to the way they run their marketing teams. It doesn't matter what you are interested in. It doesn't matter what you, as the owner of the company, what you like, what you care about, what you think is cool. None of that shit is important in any capacity. The only thing that matters is what matters to your market. That's what they buy. A lot of business owners and founders, they kind of operate with this sort of like Steve Jobs sort of mentality. You know, Steve Jobs was well known for basically saying, I tell the market what it wants. And then he went out and did that. But the unfortunate reality is that, you know, most people are not like Steve Jobs. They don't have the talent, the influence, the money that he has, the distribution. So you can't really operate in that sort of way. It's really, really important to keep in mind when it comes to the way you advertise, the way you run your ads, that the only thing that matters is what your market wants. How can you solve their problems? How can you move them closer to their pleasures, move them away from their pains? What do they want? That's the only thing that matters. A lot of people make this mistake. You know, for example, for me, I'm very interested in things like athletic training. You know, I have an Instagram feed filled with videos on like sprint mechanics and GOTA training and, you know, jump mechanics, things of that sort. But that being said, I'm not running an athletic training company because, you know, the people that I sell to in the hair loss and joint pain space, they're not really interested in, you know, sprinting faster. Most of them are extremely overweight and they aren't able to sprint in the first place. They're looking to lose weight so that their knees stop hurting, so that their ankles stop hurting. They're looking at ways to reduce that pain on their joints. They're not interested in sprinting, basically. So if you're having trouble on your ads in terms of your marketing team performance, that's one of the first things you should be looking at is, what are my biases as a business owner? Am I focusing too much on the things that are interesting to me as opposed to the things that are interesting to my market? That's one of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of people making. And if you turn that around, you will see a night and day difference in the performance on your ads. So hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions, drop those in the comments. Thanks for watching.